it is Niemira, and we are at the Blockchain Futurist Conference 2019, and we have a pleasure speaking with Andrei Poliakov from Coinberry. Welcome here.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. Well, it's great to have you here. There's a lot of happening in the Canadian ecosystem. In 2014, Andreas Antonopoulos presented at the Canadian Senate, and he was talking about Bitcoin, he was talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain. Now we are in 2019 with your company being 2 years old, and we have Coinberry offering services to Canadian municipalities. How this has happened?
Yeah, so the industry has obviously grown and matured substantially over the past several years, and whereas even 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when we were starting the company, we were trying to solve certain friction points and barriers to entry. At this point in time, we are working with governments in Canada and providing them with solutions, because we feel that that's the future of adoption of cryptocurrency, and we feel that in order for cryptocurrency to get mass adoption, there needs to be actual use cases. And so working with governments and allowing residents to pay their taxes in Bitcoin, in this case, and Ethereum using Coinberry services was that logical and natural step towards mass adoption for us.
Well, this is a breakthrough, because a lot of governments, as we know, they are very reluctant to it. So who was knocking on your door, or you were knocking on the door of the government institution? So who approached whom?
That's a great question. So we were, one of our advisors is a great advocate for cryptocurrency in Canada, Kyle Kemper, and he introduced Coinberry to the town of Innisfil, which was the first municipality that we actually struck a project with, providing Bitcoin tax payment services. And we were very fortunate in that the town was very innovative, very forward-thinking. They already had in place great partnerships with Uber and with Rover, so very innovative municipality. So when we approached them, to answer your question, and sort of pitched the idea that we can provide more services to residents and more options and allow them to pay their taxes using cryptocurrency, they really liked the idea. And it wasn't a walk in the park. It took us about 8 months of meetings and educational seminars.
That's nothing.
You're absolutely right. In the government space, it's not a long time, but in the startup world, it's still a while.
It is, yes.
But it took a lot of meetings, educational seminars, sort of breaking down the complexities of cryptocurrencies and sort of the application of blockchain to finances, and mitigating and explaining some of the risk factors, and how Coinberry is positioned ourselves as a very compliant-focused company in line with regulations, working very closely on licensing with the Ontario Securities Commission. So all those factors made the municipalities feel more comfortable working with us. And so when the vote took place in April of this year at the town of Innisfil, we were very happy to say there was a unanimous vote to launch this project. And we've actually had in I think April or May the first payment of taxes in Canada using Bitcoin, which is an amazing piece of history really that was made.
So we can say that one of the things which was very appealing for the municipality was that, number one, you are compliant. You are fully registered, because you're registered with FinTrack as well. And one more thing which nowadays is very important and many pays attention to, using cold storage for cryptocurrencies.
Right.
So you have all those ingredients needed to have perfect partnership. So do you think that this is a beginning of the adoption and going towards the government institutions?
I think it's very interesting to see the sort of bottom-up approach, where you have municipalities, which are the lowest level of government, adopting cryptocurrency. And once our announcement with Innisfil went live, of course, we've had the recent announcement with the town of Richmond Hill as well, which is part of the Greater Toronto area, that their council voted into entering into agreement with Coinberry to accept taxes paid in Bitcoin for their residents as well. So we see this sort of snowballing effect take place. We recently spoke with somebody from the province of Ontario as well, so they've reached out. So there's a lot of interest, lots of attention being paid to this right now, and I truly do believe that we are seeing the beginnings of the mass adoption of cryptocurrency in Canada as a medium of payment.
Yes. And there's one more thing, it starts the way it's supposed to, from the bottom up. Right, that people actually can understand it and see what is happening and start to gradually use cryptocurrencies in their daily life, like starting even from paying municipality taxes, and then eventually, hopefully, scalability will come to the level that people can use cryptocurrencies on a daily basis, purchasing different items as well.
Right, no, absolutely. And actually, this is a great point to maybe talk about a recent announcement.
Please do.
We recently announced a partnership with CycleBit. They are a POS manufacturer with over 250,000 merchants globally. They'll be entering the Canadian market, and their machines allow people to pay for goods and services using regular credit cards, but also using cryptocurrency as well. So Coinberry has partnered with CycleBit to process the cryptocurrency payments for payments made in Canada in cryptocurrency. So at the conference right now, you're able to actually buy a lot of things. You can buy your tickets using these machines. You can buy, at the bar, you can buy drinks. I think there's a helicopter ride you can buy even, which is super exciting.
I'm optioning for this one.
Exactly, yeah, that's what we were saying. And you can pay for all of this using Bitcoin, Ethereum on the spot. So this is another example of mass adoption really taking place as we speak, which I think is a great step forward from where we were in 2014.
So this machine converts right away and allows actually to use it.
Exactly.
So what about the fees? Because one of the things which always was very troublesome for many users, that the fees were actually very, very high. So how about using this machine? Am I going to pay for my coffee $100?
No, absolutely not. So first of all, you got to remember, when you're paying with a credit card, you're paying merchant fees. There's 2.5%, 3.5% that's embedded in the price of a coffee that you buy at the store. You just don't see that. So there's no such thing as a fee-free payment method in general. So just to put that out there. But to answer your point, to answer your question, absolutely not. There's a number of cryptocurrencies that are available that have extremely low mining fees, that are extremely fast as well. So there's a lot of options that people have and merchants have to set up their machines. And the goal, again, is to allow people to actually start utilizing their cryptocurrency in day-to-day lives. I really feel like we're getting from a point where cryptocurrency was just used as a medium of investment, maybe, to a point where it's actually truly being used as a medium of exchange.
That is actually going to be a big difference, and that is going to be a moment when truly the mass adoption of the Bitcoin will start. The currencies you have on your platform, are you still concentrating on only two, Bitcoin and Ethereum?
No, we actually have Bitcoin, Ethereum, we have Litecoin, we have Bitcoin Cash, we have XRP. So we have a number of currencies that we offer Canadians to buy and sell using Canadian dollars very, very fast and very efficiently.
So are you planning adoption of adoption of some different cryptocurrencies through your platform?
On the one hand, we're always looking at projects and coins that exist and the teams behind them and the demand. On the other hand, we're working on a few projects of our own to start issuing coins that are backed to the Canadian dollar, helping municipalities raise funds on the blockchain. So there's a lot of interesting projects we're working on trying to solve for example, volatility that exists with cryptocurrency, which precludes them from being used as a medium of exchange to the capacity they could be. So we're working on a lot of projects internally to solve some of those problems and again really drive forward that adoption.
Well, this is something what everybody will be looking forward to, because literally it's all about cryptocurrencies, and the main idea is to cut the costs, right? Not just to add additional costs and stop people from using that. And at the same time, of course, like we have different currencies, and they should be also different cryptocurrencies, so people can have a choice.
Absolutely, and to your point, when we approached the municipalities we were talking to, of course, one of the reasons that they like the idea is because A, it gives more options, but B, there are real cost-saving opportunities when you really start applying blockchain as a means, in terms of financial instruments, as a means of exchange. And so, what we see the first steps that we've taken in terms of Bitcoin tax payment was really just that. It was the first step. We were going to see a lot of very exciting projects, payment of other services, not just taxes in municipalities, payment of payroll, which is super exciting for us, in cryptocurrencies. And again, there's going to be a lot of adoption, a lot of news, and a lot of very exciting projects in the near future.
Well, you definitely provided to the municipalities an offer they couldn't refuse, because that was truly a win-win situation. Because even those who invested in cryptocurrencies and eventually didn't have their regular fiat currency to pay the taxes, now they can do it. So the city can have a profit from it, and at the same time people are thinking, well, I don't have to make the conversion, I don't have to really do it, and touch my cryptocurrency portfolio. So that's fantastic option for the future, and I truly hope that there's going to be more open-minded municipalities which are going to adopt cryptocurrencies as a form of payment.
I truly believe we'll start seeing that, because we've had a lot of interest. I mean, look, Coinberry has really positioned ourselves, and rightfully so, as a trusted partner, and obviously vetted by these municipalities. So once the doors open, more municipalities get comfortable, more different levels of government get comfortable, different government entities, they get comfortable. So we've had a lot of entities and governmental bodies reach out to us recently, again, because Coinberry has sort of broken through that, at least that perception that government is very slow to adopt. Yes, certain governments are, certain levels of governments are, but when you're a trusted partner, and when you take the time to really explain and educate and make people comfortable, it's not that scary. At the end of the day, it's not that scary. It's a new technology, and a lot of people don't know much about it. But if you take the time and explain it to them, they get more comfortable, and then they see the efficiencies that they can provide to their residents in the case of municipalities. So again, being a trusted partner is very important, but also taking the time and really educating people is equally important, I believe.
And that's what it is, the education. This is actually a key for everyone to understand how cryptocurrencies work and what can be the benefits of it. Andrei, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.